I'm super fired up to be here, excited to be back home. This is my home state. Working for Coach Prime has been great so far, and just looking forward to building an elite unit up front. So I'm excited to be here.
Coach, how excited are you to get this first opportunity to be an on-the-field coach after being in an analyst role the last few years?
I'm very fired up about it. Being in the analyst role, got to work with some great coaches, from Glenn Ellerbe, Randy Clemens, Jake Thornton, and most recently Bill Beatonbow. So I learned a lot from those guys and was able to pick something from each one of them. And, so I'm excited to do it. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I'm glad the opportunity came.
What were the emotions like when you are in this process of getting a position, just knowing you're going to be able to come back home, obviously, to a place you know really well?
Oh, yeah, it was surreal, man. It was a full circle for me. Obviously being about an hour and 45 minutes down the road, so being able to come back to my hometown, spend time with my parents and my sister who still live here, so it's great. It was great.
Of course, you want well-sized guys on the offensive line, but what does a successful O-line look like to you?
Just a bunch of physical guys up there that can communicate with each other, and whether it's opening holes for the running back or keeping the quarterback clean, just want physicality up front and some guys that bring the right attitude every single day.
What was that interview with Coach Prime like, and what did you know about this job, knowing how important that is to Coach Prime, given the guy back there in the pocket?
Oh yeah, no, he made that clear. He made that very clear. But the interview process was real. I went and seen him. Went down to his house and seen him and spent some time with him down there, and let him know my philosophy and how I want to take care of things. And that point was definitely made that it's important to keep the quarterback up. So I'm excited to have that chance to do that.
Was Shedeur a part of the interview process too?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay, because his opinion means something.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach talked to him about it, but he wasn't there that day.
Okay.
With Jordan Seaton, just what has impressed you the most about him, his first couple months of college?
Really, man, his football knowledge, as being a freshman coming in, a guy straight out of high school, his knowledge is up there. So he's a student of the game. He works hard. He comes up and watches film and does everything he's supposed to do. So, that's been the most impressive part of him. Obviously, physically, you can see that he's advanced, you know what I mean? So, but his mental part has been impressive to me.
As a player, you were both at the JUCO level and an All-American at Oklahoma, so you kind of saw both sides of college football. Does that help you relate to all the guys in your room a little bit better from that experience you had as a player?
Yeah, I think so. It's always, like that's one thing Coach Prime talked about is, having guys who have been there and, how hard it is to tell someone who hasn't been there, and vice versa. So I definitely lean on my experience as a player. Being a good player doesn't make you a good coach. I understand that as well. But I definitely lean on my experiences.
As Shurmur was just getting to Minnesota and you were retiring, was there any overlap, and how well do you know him?
Very little. So I retired. I spent like OTAs period with him, and then I retired that summer. So I got a chance to meet him, obviously at that time. But he was already, I think he was tight ends coach at that time. But I spent a little bit of time with him, but it wasn't much. Like you said, it was in my career. We kind of just, passed in the night right there. So.
You guys have brought in a couple transfers, Justin, Khalil, Tyler, that have played good ball at their previous spots. What kind of standard have they set since arriving here?
I mean, they're setting the standard. Coach Prime says the standard is the standard, and they're part of setting that standard in our room. You hit it on the head. Those guys have played a lot of ball, and they bring a lot of experience to us. So, just been leaning on those guys as well, just to set the standard in the room, but leaning on their experiences too. So it's good to have those guys here.
We've seen this guy spend a lot of time with Shedeur throughout the offseason. Just from your experience as a player, I mean, how valuable is that just with the offensive line, the quarterback getting so close and getting to know each other so well off the field?
Oh, it's great. I mean, camaraderie. We got to have camaraderie with the five, but also, spending time with your quarterback always makes it better. You know what I mean? And, they build relationships off the field and on the field. So, it makes, not that it makes them want to protect them more or anything like that, obviously, but just it's always good to have that, that bond between the quarterback and the offensive line. And Shedeur does a great job with that, as far as getting with those guys on and off the field, like you mentioned. And, they trust him. They're building their trust with him right now. He's building his trust with them. So it's been great.
As a local guy, some of the great linemen who've played here and like with and some and around those guys. But how important is that to get kind of that culture, the identity back that growing up here? CU had. It was kind of like Nebraska in that way. We're going to be O-line U kind of place.
Yeah, no doubt. That's the goal. Definitely we want to recruit the top talent, as you've seen with Jordan coming in, and then also, hopefully keep the guys that are in state, keep them here too. You know, we've got some good linemen that are at other places right now, and we hopefully can build a fence around that and keep those guys here so that we don't have to, you know, look at them, you know, at other places. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can start building that relationship around the state.
That's a priority for you,
100%.
given the talent here, yeah, for offensive line.
100%.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Coach.